What's up, gamers? Today I'm very prepared. We've got the gaming pants, the gaming shirt, and the gaming gear. Today we're gonna be doing episode 543 of Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Epic Moments. So I've been getting into this kind of phase. It happens every couple of months or so. Every couple of months or so, I get into this phase called I'm gonna play Tony Hawk for a month and not do anything else. And then a month later, I'll realize I've played Tony Hawk for a month not doing anything else. But this time it's different. I remembered I have a YouTube channel that I'm doing nothing on, and bad content is better than no content. So today, I'm selling out, and we're doing a Tony Hawk tier list. Woo! Let's go! Woo! Everyone cheer! Engage with the content slop. So, ignore what I had right here. We're gonna be doing this in 5 tiers. We got S, which is the games that I would play almost any day. You hand me them, and I'll be like, hell yeah, bro. Then we've got A, which is this game, very solid. If I got a little bored of some of the amazing games, I could play the A tier, and I would still be almost as happy. Maybe there's a few issues with them, maybe too much content, too much filler, too much whatever, but overall I would be pretty freaking happy to play them. Next we've got B, which B is okay. You know, B, I would play it. No, wouldn't be my first pick, wouldn't be my second pick, but if you handed me them and I had to play them, then I could find some enjoyment in them. Next is C, which is not great. These are not games I would want to play, but if I was held at gunpoint and told, play them otherwise you're going to die, I'd be like, okay, fine, I'll play them. And I would proceed to play them for like an hour. Not amazing, not even good, but there's some stuff there that I could find that is good. And then we got D, which is, if you tell me to play these games, held me at gunpoint and said, play them otherwise you die, I'll like, okay, please kill me. Let's start mobile games. Mobile games are getting their own tier because obviously a mobile game is not going to have as much polish as a game that took a year to make for an entire console that they're gonna sell for $60. No, a mobile game's gonna have ads, it's gonna play like shit, it's not gonna be fun, it's going to vaguely remind you of Tony Hawk, or it's not even gonna be like Tony Hawk. Or you could be Skate Jam and cost like $100 to unlock a level, which is already based off of another skating game. So it's not even Tony Hawk. But let's put grievances aside. Let's go from oldest to newest. First, we got Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Now, I'm gonna be in the minority that says this game, not great. And your nostalgia is probably the reason why you think it's good. I mean, it's not bad. I would play it. But it's so clunky. There's very little content. You can't do manuals. You can't do reverts. You can't do anything to link up combos. It's really simple. And the graphics have not aged the best either. The soundtrack, fantastic, okay? And that's something that's with almost all of these. The soundtrack's gonna be good. But it's just not my first pick for Tony Hawk. Not even my first pick for Tony Hawk 1. There's better Tony Hawk 1s out there. So I feel confident we'll put this in the middle, okay? It's not bad, but it's not good. It's not great. It's good. It is okay at best. Next, let's do Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. I have kind of the same issue with number 1. The groundwork was there, and it's obviously better than number 1. You got manuals now, so you can actually kind of link up tricks. The graphics look a little bit better. There's more recognizable and larger areas to skate around, and the soundtrack is still a banger, but it's still not amazing. I think I'd feel confident it's a better B, but it's still a B, you know? Next. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Now we get into the good shit. Let's talk about Pro Skater 3. Alright. The jump from Pro Skater 2. Game's good, okay? The jump from number 2 to number 3 is like the jump from the SNES to the PS1. It is an insane jump in quality. It is so crazy. It looks great even nowadays. It's got so many funnier, more personality. You could do reverts now, which means you could make combos basically endless. You had a better create a skater. You had the create a park. You had different little, all the goals that you did had little funny reasons as to why you're doing the goals. Like you were hitting, you were trying to knock some kid off of a pole because his tongue was stuck to him, or you were trying to stop a robbery at a mall. It's just, there's so much personality without any dialogue, okay? And it looks great, okay? This game looks so good, even for like a old original Xbox game. This is one, there's a reason why this is one of the highest rated games on Metacritic, and that's why it's getting an A tier. Because we'll get to it, but there is a better version. There is a better Tony Hawk than number 3. Next we got Tony Hawk 2X. I'm not gonna lie. Forget this one kind of exists. It's better than it's better than 1 or 2 by technicality's sake, but all the extra content sucks and it doesn't look as great somehow, even though I think it came after. We need to talk about that club level, because that club level sucks and the helicopter level sucks. I think it had the same soundtrack, so there's not much to say there. But it's good, but I think I would still put it in C, you know? It's probably better than 1 or 2, but it's still not great, you know? It feels better-ish, but I'd still probably rather play number 3. Number 4. Number 4 is pretty fucking good. Number 4, I think that's when they introduced missions. That might be why it's held down a little bit, because I think some of the missions are a little boring. But I like the fact that I like the fact that you don't have to do all the missions. I think this was around the time when you started being Superman. Okay, you could do all these super crazy stunts, do all these weird, insane shit, and they had to start, like, maps started feeling a little smaller now, because if they did a realistic location in 1 or 2, it would feel pretty realistic, you know? You couldn't do crazy stunts, so it felt more possible to skate on those objects. But in 4, they added more stuff, and now if you were to skate on like a bench or whatever, you would probably be so fast that it would last maybe a second, and then you could do like 4 spins onto the next one, and then you'd find a pipe which you could jump off of and then go like 100 feet in the air. So all the terrain was either really tiny or they stretched it out to be ginormous. So that's probably the biggest issue. But most of the missions are really funny, especially the one where you gotta stop a crazy old guy who tour guide who's like gone insane, so you gotta skate him off the ledge. And then there's so many funny different areas you can go into there. You can play baseball or tennis, and soundtrack's really good. The creative part's really good as well. Creative Skater. I think you can play as a Star Wars. I don't know what Star Wars, but you can be a Star Wars in that game, which is pretty cool. So, I think I'd feel confident putting this in A. Below number 3, though, because I think 3 has more replayability. You know, I could play 3 a bunch because of the classic mode feel of the game, and I would probably not get as bored. Number 4 is a lot longer, and the missions would start getting repetitive because they're kind of specific. But overall, I think it's pretty good. Now, now we're talking about Underground. Ooh, baby. You want to know why I didn't put number 3 in the S tier? You want to know why? Because Underground is the best Tony Hawk game. Okay, and I know it's kind of cliche to say it at this point, but it is really the best Tony Hawk game. The story mode is iconic. The locations, iconic. They're fantastic places to skate. The secrets and collectibles, iconic. In the first level, you can unlock school too. You could wall slap now. You could drive cars, which was that was not a good idea. Maybe should have thought about that one. But you had all this stuff you could do. You had Moscow, you had Tampa, you had New Jersey, you had New York, you had all this shit. And the helicopter jump you had to do in Hawaii. And the Creative Skater was great, and the soundtrack was great. You had Seed by Sublime on that shit. That's a certified banger. The only problem with that game is the fucking cars, and that's only because you use them twice, I think, ever in the first level. Other than that, this game is perfect. There's like nothing wrong with it. It's amazing. It's insane how good they made this game. How they came together after like 4 or 5 Tony Hawks, if you count 2X, and they were still improving. Which is why I feel confident putting it in that S tier. And then Jackass happened. Let's talk about Tony Hawk 2. I don't hate this game. I think this game's fun, okay? Obviously, it's Tony Hawk. It's in its most polished state right now. But the story sucks. This is literally just Tony Hawk Jackass. And after the emotion, and yeah, Underground 1 had a really unrealistic scene with the helicopter jump. But that was so that there would be this emotional moment where Eric would slap his face on your recording, which was supposed to make you famous, and then leave you in the ditch because he was, so that you're like, you would break up, but it wouldn't be this like break up and come together at the end. No, that was the moment. Eric was the villain. In this game, you are on Tony Hawk's team trying to win a destruction tour where you go around and destroy stuff violently and there's a wheel of shame where a fat guy, he's fat guy spins the wheel and you have to do something stupid, all for it to culminate into doing some really crazy stunt. That's gonna win you the tour before you have to leave because someone sets the fucking skate park on fire or whatever. It's stupid. It's a stupid story. After this super emotional story is stupid, and you fucking call yourself Underground 2. What about this is Underground? Underground had this suburban feeling to it, kind of this urban, you were just some kid and you're going up to become the big shots. This is not Underground. You are on TV doing some super giant mega crazy tour. Like, Destruction Tour, and it's only because Jackass was popular at the time, and I know that because Bam Margera. This is Bam Margera's Underground 2, because fucking, it's just Jackass. It's just like Tony Hawk. We got Tony Hawk's popular, Jackass is popular. Let's merge them two together. And I like Jackass. I think Jackass is fun, but we don't need Jackass Tony Hawk being called Underground 2. I can't remember a single location from this fucking game besides Santa Cruz off the PSP one, which was used in Old American Wasteland. So it's barely even Tony Hawk Underground 2. I think Kyoto was in Underground 2, but that might have been the PSP one as well, or that was some other game. The characters in this game suck. The creative part is kind of underwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. The soundtrack, I don't even fucking remember the soundtrack. I didn't play this one that much. If you can't tell, I was really pissed. Story sucks. Gameplay, it's okay. At this point, we've hit the peak of where you can add stuff to Tony Hawk, and now it just feels like we're adding so much stuff now. Classic mode, however. The one thing this game has is classic mode, and classic mode is really fun because it takes you back to number 3. So, because of the classic mode, which is basically just going through the same levels, but with regular original Tony Hawk goals, which is a lot more fun, honestly, than doing super crazy destruction boner shit. Because of that, I will probably put this in the B tier. Overall, got some good games so far. You know, games are pretty good. Now we get to American Wasteland. American Wasteland is, I think, a guilty pleasure of mine. I know people who either really like this game or really don't, and I'm in the crowd that really likes this game. First off, the story is better than Underground 2. It's still kind of stupid, but they realized, hey, Jackass, kind of dumb. Let's tone back the destruction a bit. A destruction in Tony Hawk, you were destroying fucking cities. In this one, you're just kind of destroying gas stations or whatever, just taking out chunks of the world. It does change the maps a little bit, which makes them a little less fun, because now you're just taking out parts of the map so you can put them in your skate park at the end, which the skate park at the end kind of sucks. But it's a better story. I like some of the characters in this one a little more, since it's kind of a reset. You've got the first area, which I'm not remembering, Hollywood. Hollywood's a really good map. I like Hollywood. I really like I think the casino level looks great. This was the first one that was like, we're gonna go open world, baby. Open world. And open world means hallways with loading screens, where it's like, it's a hallway, but the hallway's the loading screen, and sometimes you gotta wait for the door to open. That might be because I was playing on the original Xbox, but still. That's not fun. Just kind of sitting at a door waiting for it to open. But this one added BMXing to Tony Hawk Formula, and it's kind of like Matt Hoffman, and I like Matt Hoffman. And unlike the cars, the BMXing comes in a little bit more. Not much, still. If you took it out of the game, wouldn't change anything. But it's kind of fun to go skating and be like, you know what? I'm kind of bored of skating. Let's fucking Matt Hoffman. That's fun. Creative Park sucks. The Creative Park is literally the fucking. It is literally, like, not joking here, the exact same as Underground 2, and that's pretty sucky. I like the fact that you have to skate around now doing random tricks to level up your character in this, and Underground did it too, but it's still fun. Yeah, this one's solid. This one's not as good. Ending kind of sucks. Last skate park you get sucks. Changing the levels sucks, but other than that, it's pretty freaking solid. I think I'd put it in So, right now, if you haven't noticed, the games so far have been good. Downhill Jam is not good. I played it on the Wii first off, so please excuse me. They turned Tony Hawk into a racing game, and I don't know how I feel about that. I like the fact that for a Wii game they didn't do regular Tony Hawk, but also it's really boring. Like, the idea that you're racing as Tony Hawk and you gotta do tricks on the stuff, on the obstacles in the map and stuff to get speed so you can go faster is a fun concept, but it's so boring. The levels are boring and there's not much you can do in them, and the characters are just stereotypes from the 2000s, like, oh my god, it's the girl, and oh my, it's the big buff man, but he has a soft heart. And Tony Hawk says something about wanting to get with like a 20-year-old when he was like 40 at the time of the game, which was fun.
You can tell that girl works out, although don't tell her I said that.
I'm sure he didn't write that, but it doesn't look good. Yeah, there's not much to say about this game besides motion controls aren't great either. If you want to play Downhill Jam, I'd recommend getting the DS one, because the DS one's a lot more fun. The DS one has classic mode too, which means that with the levels, which are a little better in the DS one as well, you get to do classic mode. So you get to, like, when you're going downhill, you have to like pull a combo, which is pretty fun, and then once you hit the bottom, it just brings you back up until the timer runs out. That's fun. That might have been better for the Wii than just the shitty racing game. But this is just for the consoles. So besides the one DS exclusive, which we'll get to. So I'm going to give this game the first C. You know, I almost never feel like playing it, but once in a while I'll be like, sure. Now, a lot of you are gonna get pissed at this choice. Project 8 is one of the worst Tony Hawk games I've played. I played it on the 360, so maybe my issue was I played it on the 360. It's not the powerful console, you know. I'm an Xbox guy, all right. This fucking game. Let me grab the fucking box, okay? I hate this game. Skate how you want to skate. Nail the trick mode. Nail the trick mode is the worst replacement for create a trick ever. So I didn't talk about it for the last few levels, since create a trick wasn't really something I did much. But basically you just took some pre-existing tricks, some tricks that already exist. You kind of link them together with different animations and sounds. Basically, it wasn't in depth, but it's kind of fun. You get to name it and stuff. Nail the trick. You press the thumbsticks and move them left and right. You grab this fucking thumbstick, and at the same time you just move them up and down, and that creates a trick. It is the worst Tony Hawk mechanic yet, trying to innovate something that is already works. Okay, at this point you don't need to add new shit. You just need to make a fun Tony Hawk game. Maybe if you stopped making them every year, you could have realized that. But no, it's the worst trick, and you have to do it so many times, and it is so easy to fuck up the timing, and it's not fun. This is not a fun trick. I don't like being slowed down to snail's pace while I slowly hit the thumbsticks up and down to create a trick that's worth 20,000 points, because it's not fun. And that's like the best part that they added to this game. This game looks fucking ugly. Everyone in this game looks like a fucking alien for some reason. It is so bad, and there's nothing here that's memorable, because now at this point they've finally made the game completely open world, which I'm not really a fan of for a game series that was so defined by its memorable levels. But the only one the only one that's memorable is the theme park, and that level is not good. It's not a fun level. It is bad level. Bad level. Go away level. Bad level. Go away. And the fucking you gotta just kind of skate around doing random shit until you beat the game. Like, the missions aren't fun. There's random weird, like, oh, you gotta grind this place and hold the grind for forever until you get 3 stars, and that ranks you up from number 101 to 100, because the whole point of the game is you want to get to 8 on your 8 meter. Your 100 meter, you want to get to 8 on that meter, and then you can meet Tony Hawk. Ooh, even though you meet Tony Hawk like 7 times in this fucking game. And it doesn't feel great either. I'm sorry. This is one of the... After playing Underground in American Wasteland, this was the 3rd Tony Hawk game I ever played. And I hate it. It was after I was in love with Skate 3. Skate 3 might be my favorite skating game of all time. And I was like, Tony Hawk made a skate game? I want to play the skate game. And I played the skate game. And it wasn't good. I'm going to put Project 8 in worst. Luckily, will say, Proving Ground did improve it a bit. I don't think it's great. I think it probably goes in D tier, but high D. I like that you can build wherever you want. That's pretty fun for a Tony Hawk game, especially even though the entire game looks like Christopher Nolan directed it. Let's go around here. Let's make it edgy. It's dark. Tony Hawk isn't for kids anymore. This is adult Tony Hawk. We gotta put everything is in gray. Everything looks dirty and gross. There's no color. Other than that, I think the game's pretty fun. They added more creative fucking nail tricks. Now there's nail grabs and nail manuals, which not fun. That's not fun. But I do like that you can film stuff and take pictures. That was pretty fun, going around filming a really fucking intense high combo. And yeah, that's about it. It's still pretty bad. It's not great. It's not good, but it's almost good. And that's why I put it as like a high C. Do I need to say anything about Tony Hawk Motion? They made Tony Hawk on the DS and gave it a motion pack. You had to tilt your DS to move Tony Hawk. You tilt the DS to move Tony Hawk. Who was thinking of this? Who in the exec room sat in a chair and was like, you know what? Those kids, they like them Wii. You know what? They like the Wii because it makes them feel like you're really there. So what if we took Tony Hawk and you had to move the DS to move Tony Hawk? Okay? Know what? Genius idea. I wish more people thought of that sooner. This is going in the bottom of D. In fact, we're gonna create a new tier which is called Tony Hawk Motion. Perfect. And there we go. Let's delete this right now. Okay. Whew. Let me tell you a story. Okay. Is it in there? No. I have to move it. Okay. Okay. Let me show you something. This is $200 plastic. This thing is the most unusable fucking thing I have ever been sold. I spent $15 on this board, and I still feel like I was ripped off. Imagine how someone would feel if they spent $200 on this board, or whatever the fuck the price of it was when it came out. First off, before we even get into the game, this board took me an hour and a half to work with the game. I had to fucking run downstairs, put it upside down, put some books on it before it would calibrate with the game. And you have to let it has to accept the calibration, otherwise it does not work. So, hour and a half calibration later, you boot up the fucking game. It doesn't work! No matter what you do, this board will not do that. You move it up, it will just move sideways. You try and move it up and to the side to kick flip it. It will do a fucking grab. You try and move it up onto a rail and it will just kill you, because anything you do in this game will kill you. It is more responsive if you sit your ass on the board and then just shake around. You will get more points that way than you will playing the regular game. Whoever gave the Tony Hawk series to Robomoto needs to be punished for their sins, because that was the stupidest decision ever. That's not to stop. Fucking cutscenes suck, levels suck, game sucks. Everyone looks like an alien again, which I thought we fixed in Proving Ground. I guess not. Tony Hawk Ride goes in the Tony Hawk motion tier. And then, you wanna know what's funny? You wanna know what they did? You wanna know what they did? They made a sequel. Tony Hawk Shred added snowboarding. They put snowboarding in a Tony Hawk game. Put that goes in the mobile games tier. Oh, but we're not done with our good old friend Robomoto yet. Because you know what? I sound like I'm going insane, but they made a good game. And I'm the only person who will say this. Y'all like the breathing? I'm the only person who will say this. I thought Tony Hawk HD was fun. Was it broken? Sometimes. It didn't do everything you wanted it to. Most of the time it wouldn't. But if you got it to work, I think it actually had some fun moments in it. It didn't. I don't think it had all. It might have had all of the soundtrack, but I don't think it did. I think it only had some of the soundtrack. But I think it was fun. I don't know. I thought Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 HD was solid, especially after fucking motion control hell. I thought that it was fun, which is why I'm going to put it in under the original. I'd put it over number 1. I would not put it over number 2. And then, get over here. They made number 5. What can I say about number 5 that has not been said before? Okay. Number 5 is an embarrassment to Tony Hawk as a franchise. Okay? And I would love to go on our rant about how the levels are so uninspired. The game barely even works nowadays. They couldn't even function the missions to work on themselves. The game had to be patched in when half of the game had to be patched in with an update. The fucking slam feature, which is the same button as grind, which means so many times you will slam instead of grinding. But I won't, because so many other people have complained about this game. Because there's nothing good about it. There isn't. Think about something good. There's nothing good about this game. It doesn't even feel like Tony Hawk. It's got a completely different feeling to it. Which is why I'm putting this lowest tier of D. Alright. I don't even know what happened to this shred. There it is. But luckily, we end on a good note, because I think Tony Hawk 1+2 is one of the best Tony Hawk games. Vicarious Visions, before they died, was a really good company, and I think they handled the DS ports of the Tony Hawk games, so they already had experience. And they made this gorgeous remake of 1 and 2. It had all the old songs, plus some new songs that fit the theming of the first game's soundtrack. There wasn't a lot of new content, but what there was great. The creative park was so in-depth this time. It's amazing how good that creative park was. The creative skater, you could play as Jack Black, you could play as an alien, and oh my god, the multiplayer. Sometimes you'd get a hacker. I've gotten a few of those in my time of playing, but oh my god, the multiplayer, just hopping into a lobby and just fucking destroying some people with a 3 million combo is the greatest feeling you will have in your life. And yeah, I think you could do that with the other ones, but they've been shut down now. So this is like the only way that you will experience that, unless you play Thug Pro, in which case it's a very fun mod. It's just, Tony Hawk 1+2 did everything it should have. And even though there was going to be a 3 and a 4, which got shut down by Activision, I think Tony Hawk 1+2 might have been the best send-off we could have had for this series. And going in the S. And that's it. What'd you think of my list? Like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. Thank you for watching my terrible list. If you disagree with it, please tell me why in the comments and why I suck and I am stupid. I will probably do more of these soon. Maybe I'll do a review. I don't know next. I'll see y'all later. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. And yeah, I'll see you later.